Okay. Bu burada. And then oh, so Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillah, you're muted, brother.
Rabbena ufirli ve livalideyye ve lilmu'minine yevme yakumul hisab. Rahmetike ya erhamer rahimin. Rabbi şrah li sadri ve yessir li emri ve hlul ukdeten min lisani yefkahu kavli ve cealli veziran min ehli Harun ahi üşdud bihi ezri ve yeşriku fi emri key nusebbihake kethira ve nezkurake kethira inneke kunte bina basira ve sallallahu ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etba'ihi ve sellem velhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Amin. We have studied last week, we have been studying the section Araf in the Qur'an. Excuse me. Last week we studied verse 50, the people of the fire will call to the people of paradise, give us some water or any of the sustenance God has granted you, and they will reply, God has forbidden both. It means water or sustenance. To the disbelievers, we said this is related to for us now. Now for us, disbelief itself does not allow us to get water and sustenance. God has granted us. No, we get water, we get sustenance, but that's a very interesting point there. Mimma razaqnahum yunfiqun. Do you notice this verse there? Are we there? 50? Yeah. Mimma razaqnahum yunfiqun. It means water and sustenance from which God provided for you. They get water, they get sustenance in this world, but they don't get water and sustenance from God provided them. What does it mean? They get water as they understand, however it happens, whatever, not from the conscious creator, but through, I don't know, natural events or developments or nature itself, Mother Nature provided them, etc. They get this, but nature itself, whatever is within the universe, is just transient. The water and sustenance they receive cannot satisfy their human qualities, which means cannot satisfy what human feelings require. This only satisfies body temporarily, and body dies and rots away under the earth. It doesn't really satisfy human feelings. When you get water and then be slaughtered, what does it mean? So what was it good? I drank and died. Nothing, because we understand while we are living that the end of the road is non-existence if we don't attribute the creation beings to a conscious being. That is what kafir means. Denies the reality, reduces it to the word itself. That's what we have to understand. Of course, here the Quran says those disbelievers. Quran speaks with concrete, visualized examples. What makes a human being a disbeliever? Not the body, not the flesh, not the race, not the nation, which nation he is born or she is born. No. Disbelief or belief. When the Quran uses this kind of examples, Christians, Jews, children of Israel, disbelievers, believers, the people of hypocrisy, what are they talking about? Which people is the Quran talking about? Not the people. What makes a man and a person a disbeliever, a believer, a Jew and Christian and whatever idol worshiper they say? It means really, instead of believing in God, replacing God with something else of this universe and any piece of this universe, which every piece needs to be created, given existence. Or any ideology, any philosophy which doesn't acknowledge the creator. We understood this now. Disbelief in its nature cannot acknowledge the absolutely conscious, knowledgeable creator, so they don't they don't understand what is created as a means of acknowledging him, knowing the source of existence of things as to be the infinite, absolute being. And they cannot get the water and sustenance provided by them by an infinite being. That is, I think, understood now, because I felt that we really missed this point last week. Didn't emphasize as it requires to be emphasized. Now, since we studied this, let's continue. Okay, let me get rid of this here. Here. Okay. 51. الذين اتخذوا دينهم لهوا ولعبا وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا. They are those who allured by the life of this world. took their religion lightly, like a mere game, and believers and disbelievers, all of them were deluded by worldly living. Believers also may be deluded by worldly living, the material life, concentrating on the need of the body only. It is possible. I experienced this in my life. I may be more concerned with, may not be always, but sometimes, that the Quran says, whatever, in its nature, we have to be very careful. Whether somebody's whole life is devoted to this word, or some people, it sometimes may slip away and devote their life to this word. Like me, I always experience this in my life. And taking the religion lightly means the way God prescribed for us, taught for us, and practiced by his prophets as the best example for us, so that we will apply it to our life by updating them to our living conditions. So we may not really take these principles seriously and forget about the teachings of the revelation, the prophets, mission, etc., concentrating only on making our worldly life better. But we have to be careful, only making our worldly life better. But if we really understand the message of God in the Quran, in the prophetic example, what we see a delicate principle applied there. What is that? In every attempt we have in this world concerning our worldly life concerning this world, we will see a sign there from our Creator manifested in that particular event, whatever it is. I'm breathing, I'm drinking, eating, speaking to people, enjoying my friends, together, living together, having beautiful conversations, or going out and seeing the all beautiful sceneries created in the world, enjoying them. While I'm doing this, all of them are witnessing to me and reminding me that their sort of existence is presenting all these opportunities to us. So whether I believe in God or not, when I ignore these messages that are manifested in whatever the things we are dealing with in this world, so it is reduced to only material side of the things. For example, concentrating on the way that the food I am eating, practical example, so I am benefiting from it. Only the food, the delicious food, and really nourishing me and satisfying my hunger, and remaining there, rather than how it came into existence, how I am created in a way that I need to interact with the food. Food is the practical example. You can apply to everything. Anything to do with this world, which we are living in, it is impossible to ignore the word. Of course, if I want to know my reality, I'm living in this world, this reality I must experience in my relationship with this world. So this is what I understood from religion, taking religion lightly. And also like a mere game.
Brother Ali, so what was the prophetic example you were saying?
Sorry?
You said an example from the prophetic life.
Everything that we hear from life, I am not going to tell 23 years of experience of the prophet here. Do you want to have an experience? Everything. In his treatment with the people, in his loyalty to the message, carrying the message to others, he feels satisfied with the message and feels relaxed, comfortable, peace, secure in his life. Wants others also to experience the same thing, wants to convey them, look, why don't you think the purpose of this existence? So listen to the message. Prophet is not really trying to be accepted and appointed as the community leader and the state administrator, president of the whatever the institution, administrative institution is. No, he wasn't. He was just trying to save the people in his life, conveying the message. 13 years is in Mecca. He did nothing, but as he was opposed by the people, certain people, not everybody, we have to know that. Prophet's struggle was not with the whole people. Now or then they are called unbelievers, or the traditional languages, idol worshippers. Not everybody was conscious to doing it, but certain small group of people, as they call themselves the administrators of the society, or how do you say, the leaders of this society, and the best people of this society, maybe riches, maybe the most knowledgeable one among them. They said, look, we are here. We are the leaders of this country. Who are you that you want to be? Prophet kept saying that I am not after your position. Don't be between the people, great majority of the community, and my message. Don't be in between, an obstacle in between me and the people. So his struggle was against these people, because these people were using their influential position until the prophet declared his message, and not letting the people to listen to the prophetic message, and trying to stop the prophet from delivering the message. He was struggling. For example, the best example is to learn the message, to receive the message, and within the framework of the message, try to convey it to others. An example, the best, if you like, the sunnah, the tradition of the prophet, is to learn and deliver the message. Try to deliver the people from meaningless life, and make their life open to eternity, eternal hereafter, eternal paradise. Don't suffer from meaninglessness in this life. That is the best thing. Yes, we can feed people's stomach as well, bodily help them, but the most important side is their spirit is dying of hunger, craving for satisfaction. That is one example, best example, the most important example of prophetic message. If you want to help people to save themselves, We have to work on ourselves and learn and save ourselves, feel peace in our existence, in our being, be satisfied with it, and then give to others as well. We can give some of our property to feed people's body. Some of them, not all of them. But as far as this message, the content of the message is concerned, the more we give them, the more the satisfaction we have in our heart increases, not decreases. So it is just the opposite of giving zakat of my property, from my property. It is not like helping people bodily by spending some energy, some time. So if I spend one day by serving other people, other bodily needs, to satisfy their bodily needs, yeah, one of my days is gone. But it is rewarded definitely, no, sure, because we are expected to satisfy people as well in their bodily needs. But how about sharing my peaceful mind, feeling, heart, and feeling secure in my being, living a purposeless life with others? The more they enjoy the message, the more you see them, they are happy with their new understanding now that you delivered to them, the more satisfaction you get, not less. That is the mystery of messengership's real mission. Deliver the message to others, save them, save them. If you want one example, that's a beautiful example. We have to have this attitude as much as we can. For example, a middle school student can teach some, whatever the subjects they are studying, biology, or I don't know they study biology, but let's say literature, let's say mathematics. So a secondary school student can teach a primary school student. Why not? As much as he knows, he can teach. That's what we have to think. Always we can see some people are suffering from lack of meaning for their life. But unfortunately, the most severe and widespread, if you like, problem of today's people, loneliness, meaninglessness, purposelessness. Those people who are somehow considerate, thinking, those people don't think that is, they may not suffer from it. They are not aware of it. They are just lost totally in the world. So they may seem to be just happy. But those people who start, bothering about what is going on in this world and what they are living for in this world, they start experiencing the loneliness, meaninglessness. Although they may have many friends, but they keep themselves busy with those friends only on a temporary base with no human satisfaction. Just getting somehow busy with something else, not really thinking what their human side requires. So we have to understand this. So we have to study. We have to study the Qur'an. We have to study the examples of the Prophet's life, some examples of the Prophet's life. And we have to study, if you can, hadith, but you have to study the Quran first in order to understand how you should really benefit from the hadith narrations. It needs a bit specialization. The Quran, rather than, I wouldn't say we need specialization. I wouldn't say that. In order to benefit from the Quran, I have to be an expert on the Quran. No, layers of benefiting there. Hadith, in its nature, hadith narrations in their nature is not the same. You have to see the content of it and the circumstances of this hadith narration took place, relate to it. It needs somehow some expertise. But the Quran needs layers of understanding. You have to read the Quran first by its translation, get a general idea, and then go to some sort of explanation somehow. In some narration, some translations, there are some footnotes. Pay attention to the footnotes and try to understand the second layer. And then, whatever the opportunities you have, maybe you may have a commentary book, maybe you may have some times to learn some sort of Arabic, some sort of words of the Quran, and their variations of meanings, and within the context, what it means. These just the stages. Everybody goes through the stages. Primary, elementary school students learn something very basic, and then goes on. At the PhD level, they may say, I am specialized in this specific area only. That's it. In this specific area only. So we cannot encompass everything in 1 or 2 years. But it goes in order to become an engineer. How many years we have been working, the people are working, studying? How many? Starting from kindergarten education until master degree, because a university degree or a college degree is not enough nowadays. So master degree, it takes 20 years at least, 23 years. If you want to specialize it, it goes on into 30 years. And that is the halfway of your life by learning. And then experiences continues, but at least you can say, I have this profession. But when it comes to studying the Quran, we want to learn the Quran in 6 months to finish. I mean, it is better than nothing, but inshallah we'll try. Okay, let's go back to our word. Taking the religion as a game, a mere game. Yeah, laiban. Mere meaning is laiban, singular form. That is somehow to do with the rule. Lahwan masaiban, laibasun. وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا, because, I don't know how it is translated here, were the living, were, I see, and were deluded by were the living. In fact, of course, this is literal translation. In fact, وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا, wow, this end, here end, explanatory, and giving the reason, إلا, it's Arabic called wow, إلا, because of they were deluded by worldly living. What does it mean? Gharra, cheated, gharra, misled. the word gharra means. Deluded is a good translation. So the word life becomes so attractive because is there anyone who will check why the word life is so attractive to us? Any idea from anyone? Come on, help me understand. I would say, let me try my first impression. Word life gives material, palpable, plausible, materially experiential pleasure. So we spent 1 hour to make a good food, delicious food. Why? Because of the delight we get from it. But when we eat, it is gone. That's it. It is delusion, isn't it? It doesn't mean that we shouldn't make, but if you study, I study, you study, or I study 1 hour the Quran, if you learn one verse from the Quran, really, what it really means, it enlightens your life forever. Not gone. You learn and not gone. No. It gives a new dimension to your life. It opens a new window to your life, which looks to eternity. And it is always open then. As long as you don't really change direction, turn your back to this window and forget about it. If you don't do that, it always gives life to you, gives light to you, and makes your life meaningful at that respect. So this is why word life is deluding. Immediate, materially experiential, but essentially transient, temporary, leaves you alone in despair. That is why delusion is gharra, is there. In Arabic, gharratumul hayatud dunya. The world life deluded them. So what happens as a result? If we take this attitude, we will be ignoring them today. Now, God is speaking now. God will ignore them, those people. Inshallah, you are not there, but I see myself there really. Ignoring them, God will ignore those people just running after the worldly life only, as they ignore the coming of this day. It means worldly life concentrates only momentary satisfaction. Momentary satisfaction. And it is gone. What does it mean? You see, eternal aspect of this momentary satisfaction, because we didn't take notice of it, it is gone. With it. It was there as if you received a book. Without reading it, you threw it into the trash can. With the book, it is gone. What gone? What is gone? Message, knowledge in it is gone. That is why, as if the author says, because you ignored me, the knowledge in the book, then at the end, today is, day of hereafter, they say. And in the day with capital D, hereafter, but we read it now as well. It doesn't mean that it is nothing to do with the hereafter. No, at the very total of every life, everything we live in this world, we will be left with nothing after death, because we didn't have anything here. So we have to understand what we are missing here, so that we won't be disappointed after we die. That is why I personally, I love reading the Quran as I experience the message right now. So if I ignore the message in the things that I am interacting with in this world, the creator is introducing, the creator of that thing, whatever it is introducing to me, and I don't see the creator, but only I see the creature and use it, utilize it, swallow it, it is gone. That is why the Quran says, we are ignoring them. I will update it here. Literally also, it doesn't mean that we will. فَالْيَوْمَ نَنْسَاهُمْ كَمَا نَسُوا لِقَاءَ يَوْمِهِمْ هَذَا. Literally means this, literally, but of course you can understand also in the coming of the day. What? يَوْمِهِمْ هَذَا. It means, هَذَا means this day. But this day. But we have to understand that, yes, it may refer to the hereafter. It will definitely it will definitely happen in the hereafter, because that is the end of our account. Whatever we have in our account, the last balance. But practically speaking, at every moment, we can read this one. For those people who are familiar with Arabic language, let's try to understand that. فَالْيَوْمَ نَنْسَاهُمْ, and the day, the moment, because the Quran uses the day in every sense of including the moment we live. كُلَّ يَوْمٍ هُوَ فِي شَأْنٍ means every moment is in another act of creation. Every moment, a different act of creation. Yawm means definitely in this verse, definitely a momentary existence. And فَالْيَوْمَ, today, because L is there, that is why we have to say today, not any day, no, today. It means the day, the moment. نَنْسَاهُمْ, we forget. كما نسوا, as they forgot. لقاء يومهم هذا. And this moment, the hoping of this day, when they arrive this moment, it means when you swallow the food, you taste the delicious taste of the food, swallow it, gone. And the message is forgetting you now, or you don't get anything from the message. I'm going a bit detailed here because of the structure of the Quran, but we have to understand this practically, that if I don't read the book and get it, show it, take a picture with the book saying that, look, I have this book, and put on the Instagram, and then don't read and throw it away. What did you benefit from it? Nothing. Show off. Momentary satisfaction among your friends. And just they denied our message, we also ignore them. Automatic result. Not because God will ignore it. God actually, Nensa means I mean, in this context, you can understand as ignoring, but forgot. Of course, they say, no, they miss people. The people just read the translation, misunderstand. Oh, does God forget? Of course, that's why they are avoiding to use the word forgot. As you forgot, we also are forgetting what because of your attitude in this way. I think this verse understood now that we have to be very careful whether we are taking our religion, our belief seriously. When I say, I believe in God, God created everything, but there is no effect of this belief in my life. Of course, but this effect may appear on one side that I'm praying, I'm fasting. That is also correct. But experiencing the necessity of or the content of the necessity of belief in my life is 24 hours every moment. The rituals are another side of the matter. But most of the time we hear that if you believe in God and you disobey him, but if you believe in God, how you believed in God? Is the creator of the universe, and that's it. I believe that definitely the universe must have a creator. That is correct. And also this is essential as a start, And afterwards, in my life, I cannot reduce this belief to only practicing rituals. Yes, it is there, but these are just some small fragments of my life. The most essential is my human feelings must be satisfied fully. And if I don't get satisfaction, I am not benefiting from my belief, but following the religion as a tradition. Following a tradition. Yeah, that's my answer. Those people follow the fashion. They get also satisfaction. Yeah, because they say, I'm feeling great now among my friends. Yeah. Following the tradition, their tradition is the fashion or traditional trend in the society. Nowadays is being agnostic, it looks intelligent, being atheist, questioning the legitimacy of religion, legitimacy of the prophets. It means, who are they? Come on, they are the historical heroes that the people make up themselves. This kind of interpretations is fashion nowadays. Oh, the fashions come and go. You don't know what will happen. As I always remind you that I really lived through more than half a century. In my time, fashion was among the youth, new generation, to be socialist or really pro-labors. Who cares now, labors? That problem is gone. No one really talks about it. But there was the ideal life in my youth. So I remember many events in my life. It makes me laugh. All right, let me see what's written there on the Sarah. I am always forgetful of this meeting with my Lord in this moment. Oh, I wasn't alone then. Sarah, thank you. Say that there are some people like me in many moments. So from one aspect, I am feeling a sad feeling when I will be forgotten in this passage. Yeah, forgotten, that, ignored. Because it leaves you alone. Now, but whether Qur'an says this or not, the Qur'an is the reminder. He is reminding me my reality. Okay, but then I am guided and inspired to turn this sad feeling into a prayer to help guide me here and now, to remember that every new moment is a new way to meet his face, his quality through the universe. It means experience the eternity of the Creator manifesting itself and promising me. I don't really, we have to be careful with this. His face, meeting his face. So what are you doing? What does God have a face? I know you understand. I understand you. You have a good intention, but we have to understand it in a way that it makes sense to other people as well. So when you, that is why I avoid this kind of language. So every new moment is a new way to meet. It means to experience, to meet the message, the promise of the Creator. I am the eternal absolute being who created this thing for you. So remember me. This is just an example, demonstrating to you that I am an eternal being. So connect your existence to my eternal qualities. So you must practice that the Creator of this thing is promising you. Okay. Let's see, Afshan says, seems like we will receive as we invest. Yeah, at the moment, and it is permanent. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? In your account, you put $1. Whatever you spend, it remains as $1. There is nothing, such thing material happening here. But when this $1 is multiplied by infinite, what does it mean? This balance, $1 never can be reduced. Eternity means this, because absoluteness, God is present, his qualities are present. They're demonstrating themselves, teaching us in every creation. Or, the Afshan continues, our feelings will receive as we invest in our belief, understanding, how we understand who our Creator is. Thank you. That is how we are treated in this world. Shall we go further? Inshallah, this verse. So 52, which says, وَلَقَدْ جِئْنَاهُمْ بِكِتَابٍ فَصَّلْنَاهُ عَلَى عِلْمٍ هُدًى وَرَحْمَةً لِقَوْمٍ يُؤْمِنُونَ. So we have certainly brought them a book, presented them a book here, which we explained with knowledge, a guide and mercy for those who believe. I would say, I would rather say this, على علم هدى ورحمة لقوم يؤمنين. على علم هدى ورحمة is the phrase which is called in Arabic حال. I mean, جملة الحالية, which is called in Arabic. So it means as a, in this situation. So we explained with knowledge as a guide and mercy for those who believe. In order to be a guide for them, mercy for them, knowledge for them. That is why from the structure of the sentence, you can easily get this. But of course, translations can only transfer only that much, not more. So we have to be on the surface of the grammatic side of the Quran, what get the gist core of the message of the Quran here. What does it mean? We have come with you with the book, with a book. explaining with the knowledge as a guide and mercy for those who believe. So we can, we have to be very careful while we are reading the Quran about the word kitab. Depending on the context, we have really contextualized it according to the subject matter, but we have to be open to different meanings of the kitab, but not the different meanings of the kitab according to the dictionary explanation. No, Quranic explanation, because every word in the Quran, apart from, I mean, really, I would say 99% of the Quran are just terminologies, terms, concepts, because the Quran uses Arabic language and conceptualizes them, gives them conceptual meaning. Of course, the purpose of our class, first of all, how to bring the Quranic message into our practical life. That is the main purpose. The second main purpose is how to get the universal message in the Quran. The third, again, most important message, how to really read into the meaning of the Quran. Fourthly, now I understand this list. Understanding the Quranic concepts, not Arabic, but Quranic concepts. The words are taken from Arabic language, but the concepts are, if you like, divine, Quranic revelation, what the revelation gives the meaning, uses this word in the Quran. So, of course, anyone will start trying to understand the Quran by using dictionaries. Of course, they will say the book. Here, a book, biktabin. But in the Quranic usage of the kitab has two meanings. In some contexts, the book revelation compiled into a book. In another concept, authority. In another concept, verdict, principles of applications of some certain rulings. In another concept, which is most widely used in the Quran, creation, the universe. It is a kitab, meaningful kitab. So we can read it here in both ways. We have certainly brought them a book, which is brought them a universe, which we explained with knowledge in it, in every creature, a guide and a mercy. When you read it, you can be guided. You can get the mercy of the absolute message of the Quran, introducing himself. Wow, it is more practical. You study whatever these discoveries in the creation out of the order of this universe is just a book, let alone this meaningful or less meaningful, whatever, or not really rationally acceptable explanations of the so-called nowadays magicians of our century, scientists who deny creator, magicians who deny creator. They are in Quranic language, magicians of Pharaoh. But on the other hand, Moses also, it is interesting to pay attention to this side. He used his rod, I think you understood the rod. There was another word, but I don't remember now. Staff. He also threw it. Looks like he is another magician. For the Pharaoh, Moses was the chief magician. So everybody uses the same tool. The scientists use the word and say, Pharaoh is the God. There is no God, as Moses claimed, who is the creator of the universe. Everything is a God. So if you like, in quote unquote, Moses' magic is swallowing all these ideologies and declaring that the Lord of the heavens on the earth, it means Lord of the universe, is the one who creates the universe altogether within everything in it. Everything within it. That is, we have to see the difference between scientists' interpretation of the creation as to be, they don't say the creation, beings, as to exist by themselves, like the magicians that will influence their own ropes. But Moses' stuff introduces God's message, because Moses says, I am the messenger of God. I am bringing the message of God, not from me, not from my stuff. So represents the message. So we understand that everybody uses the same book, universe, in one sense. And this universe itself explains with knowledge and brings to us the guidance and mercy, and enlightens our life, and our feelings, intelligence, and consciousness become peaceful. So we have certainly brought them a book, the universe, or a book, the message of the Creator, through the revealed to the messengers, and the messengers deliver to humankind. So both the same, because what the Qur'an says, what the revelation says, is not contradicting to what the universe says. Universe itself witnesses the truthfulness of the message. Message declares the truthfulness of the universe. They confirm each other, mutually perfectly compatible. So at the end of our discussion, we cannot separate them. So we can understand kitab bearing two meanings at the same time. In many cases of the Quran, as the Quran clearly uses ayat or ayah, singular, ayat plural, ayat, signs. For what? For the letters, sentences of the book Quran, let's make it revelation Quran, and also each being in the universe is a sign. So the ayah, word ayah, is used for both of them, as the word kitab is used for the both of them in the Quran. So sometimes specifically the word ayah refers to the sentences of the Quran. In many cases, the word ayah refers to the individual creatures in the universe or in totality, in its entirety. The same. So we have to be comfortable to consider the revelation through verbal speech, and the revelation through, I would call it, I don't know whether this word exists in English, actional speech. I don't know whether it exists. I never heard. Action-wise, let's say, or speaking through actions, through physical signs. Here it is, the universe. The same. The source is the same, by the way. Quran is the speech of the creator of the universe. The universe is the one who speaks in the Quran. The same. So we understood. So we said, لِقَوْمٍ يُؤْمِنُونَ. Let me see the time. Oh, let's finish this. لِقَوْمٍ يُؤْمِنُونَ. It is a knowledge, a guidance, a mercy for the people who believe. It means you can get this knowledge, this guidance, this mercy only if you are, I wouldn't say if you are believing, if you believe in it, I wouldn't say that. I would say who are open to receive the message, reality, not biased, open-minded. When you don't block, the message directly speaks to your spirit. If I turn blind to it, if I ignore it, I would say this is the kafir. Doesn't want to hear it. Blocked. So we understand most of the people are innocent, but they are not open. They are not biased. Majority of the world population are innocent, but they don't have an attitude, biased attitude, right? They don't know, they don't want to search for it, they don't get it. If someone is open-minded, when they, for example, the most probable or most fortunate people are those people who study the universe. I would say the most fortunate people. Why the most fortunate people are not studying the Quran? I'm sorry. If you don't know what is going on in the universe, you cannot understand the Quran. You just read an historical text. Unfortunately, that's my experience. You have to pay attention what's going on in the creation, what's going on in your own nature, your feelings. And then you utilize the Quran. Otherwise, studying the Quran becomes only knowledge, external knowledge to become a sheikh or imam, to teach others, unfortunately. Oh, it's a horrible misfortune. But we have to study the Quran, but witnessed by the creation. Always combine them. We have to weld them together and make them really reciprocally speaking to each other, practically. So then it speaks. Otherwise, studying the universe comes first, my friends. You may be surprised to hear this. Most of the time we hear studying the Quran comes first. People don't know the Quran if they don't see the wonderful creation of the universe, if they don't wonder how the things are prepared for them, they wouldn't pay attention to the revelation. If they wonder, if they question, then when you present it you present the message to them, they will be amazed. That was I was looking for. This answer, so wonderful, but if I don't get the source of this wonderful creation, becomes meaningless. So wonderful and so meaningless. What does it mean? Contradictory. So in order to solve this talisman, this contradiction, this mystery, where I have to be open. Those people in my personal life, including myself, who wonder about the creation are those people who are more open to the revelation. Immediately when they see, when they hear, they start benefiting from it because they were thirsty. But if somebody, let's say, it digs a, how is it called? Well, to get water, in order to sell it. Oh man, God forbid me from this position. In order to sell it. So this is the desert. People need water. So I have to find the water and sell it, make money, and become a rich man. Right. You are carrying the most precious thing, but you are not drinking it. Oh, it's a really serious problem. Serious problem. So we have to have the questions, we have to feel the thirst to get the answer, and then when you read the revelation, you find out that whatever you discovered in the creation, what a wonderful things they are, what beautiful things they are, so what meaningful things they are. So I and the universe are so much interacted with each other. How can I know each other? So how can I know the universe? How the universe matter can know me? So wonder, question. What is the purpose of this wonderful interaction with the universe and human beings? And then when you hear the message, definitely you say, welcome. Welcome. Receive it. Otherwise, to become a famous man in science, in preaching, etc., famous man, and looking at the number of the audiences, etc. Oh man, missing the point. Okay, I think you understood that the government yu'minun means open to believe. Why? How do you justify this, or is it really correct? Because yu'minun is the present continuous tense, not a thing which happens once and finish. No, but in the context of the Quran, sometimes is used the past tense, depending on the context. But in these kind of contexts, using the word mu'minun, using the word yu'minun, or yu'minu singular, yu'minu plural, doesn't matter. Amana, aminu in the past, but this active participle also means the same thing. Continuously seeking to believe, to confirm, to find out the truth and to confirm it. This is called, in the present sense, those people who want to become a believer. It means confirming the truth. What I understood from it, in my notes I took that, you are open whenever you receive the truth. Don't be biased for any side. If I hear the truth, if my heart confirms it, my intelligence satisfied with it, I wouldn't prevent it. That is called mu'min. Not once happened at once. Sorry, I'm repeating. I think we can continue from verse 53, next week, inshallah. Well, sorry, I really used wrongly unjustly your time, 15 minutes, 16 minutes. Bismillah ar-Rahman. Any question, anything before I close it? Let me see. Afshan, thank you. Amazing. Yeah, well, alhamdulillah, the Quran is amazing, not the class. Our class becomes beautiful because the Quran is beautiful. We are studying the Quran. So if we were not studying the Quran, no one would listen and come to this class or discussion, whatever you call. Thank you, by the way. It's a good appreciation. Make a means of prayer. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة. Inshallah, I'll see you next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Next Friday at 10 a.m. No, Saturday, sorry. Next Saturday at 10 a.m.